Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the live, y'all. How are you guys doing? Today, we will be talking about how to manifest a job. And I do feel like, personally, I've done this a few times, enough for me to talk to you guys about it. So, I've done it a few times. I went through a phase where I manifested multiple jobs, even moved to a completely different state, manifested a job in a hurry, a job that was more aligned to me. So I want to talk about it because I know it's a few people who, they want to manifest a job. So I want to talk about it. On top of that, I also linked my ebook down below where I go through all the jobs I manifested, how I manifested them, all the things that I did in order to get there. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to ask a question for today. And I think the question that I'm going to ask, hi, how are you? I think the question that I'm going to ask is, do you like your job? Because there's a couple of problems out there, y'all. It's a couple of problems that I see. Number one, there's a lot of limiting beliefs going on. It's 2026 now. But especially during 2025, there was a lot of limiting beliefs flying around about the capability to get a job in this particular market. There was a lot of people talking about what the market looks like. There's a lot of fear in regards to AI. And then there's a lot of people who have their own self-doubt and they're not putting in that work to get what they want in this life because they already have these limiting beliefs that put a wall up and they don't even try. So I don't want to be any type of person who's going to sit up here and say anything about any, I'm not going to put no limiting beliefs on y'all, on y'all's capability to get a job. There's a million, kabillion, quadrillion jobs out there doing the most randomest stuff. Me personally, I work in a field that I actually really enjoy. And I feel like my field actually aligns to who I am, but I also worked to get to this point. I went to school to get to this point. But you don't have to have a degree to have a job that you love. You don't. I'm telling y'all right now, you don't have to have a degree. You don't have to be the best person in the world to have a job that you love and that pays you well, where you have a lifestyle that you feel happy living and you feel like you're thriving. You just don't have to. And we're going to get into it. Let me go ahead and create this poll real quick. How y'all doing today? Hey, everybody. Hi, Jacob. Hey, Barney. Hey, Curtis. Hi, Anthony. How are you guys doing today? Job / career that you love. Hello, Andrew. I've been well. Oh, you didn't ask that. Do you have a job / career that you love? Yes. No. I don't have a job / career. Oh, okay. Let's see what everybody says. So go ahead and make sure y'all vote in the poll. Make sure y'all vote in the poll and let me know. Because I know last time I did a poll and half of the people said they did not have a job. So y'all make sure y'all vote and make sure y'all comment and double tap the live, like the live, y'all. And I'll make sure to say hey to you guys in the chat as well. I love to wave at y'all and talk to y'all in the chat every now and again. Happy holidays. Somebody was saying today, they was like, after today, you can't say Happy New Year's no more. Or Happy New Year. I'm Black, so I say Happy New Year's. I don't know why that's a cultural thing. Hey, Trillian, how are you doing? Hi, how y'all doing? Make sure y'all vote in the poll. We only had one person vote, and one person said yes. Only one person said yes today. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, if you ain't seen them, then what if you see them on January 10th, you haven't seen them since 2025? Like, I think it's appropriate to say Happy New Year if you haven't seen them in a long time. As long as it's January. Once it's February, you say Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day. That's what you say. Oh, I should have added that. I'm retired. I should have added that. God darn it. I darn. Okay. Well, GR, if you did have one, you could say that you did enjoy it, or you could say you didn't enjoy it. Hey, John. Why y'all haven't voted? No, for real. So we're gonna get into it. Cause y'all know my schedule has been changing a lot. So I've been keeping the videos a little short lately because my schedule been changing and I'm still adjusting. So I be wanting to make sure I still come on here and make sure y'all double tap the live, y'all. We about to get into it. Because if you don't have a job that you love or you don't have a job at all, we got to make it make sense. Hey, y'all. Hey, Syracuse, and Rayleigh. Hey, y'all. Now, I want to make this clear again because I said this in yesterday's live, but there's a lot of people who want to be entrepreneurs. And I'm never going to down that. Congratulations to you. I love an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur as well. Been an entrepreneur since I was yee-high. So I love it. But for many people, entrepreneurship will not be the initial way that they gain their financial stability. I believe that jobs are here to provide us a sense of financial stability, a sense of security to help support us in building wealth, especially in regards to retirement and benefits. Retirement and benefits. I love retirement and benefits. And if you have a job, that's what those things provide. So that's why I want to support people in manifesting a job. I believe that entrepreneurship comes with that. You get that job, you get that sense of security. It will support you in being a better entrepreneur. For real. John. You said I'm going to ask, did you used to work in the acting industry when you were a kid? No. When I was younger, I have entrepreneurs in my family. So I had an aunt who owned a cleaning business and I would clean with her. I would make buku amount of money with her. Hey, I'm a hot. I would make buku amount of money with her because she wouldn't pay me like she would pay me like she paid herself. So I would leave with a lot of money. And then I also, as a kid, used to go around in the neighborhood selling candy with my cousins. And yeah. So those is what I used to do as a kid. And that led me up to, my mom was the type of person like at 16, you need to get a job. So once I got 16, I got a job. So, but yeah, I used to get to the bag as a kid. So we got 10 votes. So 50% said yes, they have a job or career that they love. 20% said no, and 30% said I don't have a job and or career. And in that 20%, or 30% could be people who are retired. So let's go ahead and get into it. I didn't even count, mind you, like I said, y'all can purchase the ebook because I talk about each one of the jobs that I manifested, how I did it, all those things down below in the description. But me personally, I manifested at least 3 jobs. And for me, I liked all of them. I didn't have any problems with any of them. They did what they needed to do at that point in my life, right? So let's talk about why you should be manifesting a job right now if you're not working somewhere where you're already satisfied, or if you want more for yourself, or if you're moving to a different area where you have to leave the job that you enjoy, right? You should be manifesting a job because it's possible. Did you hear me? You should be manifesting a job because it's possible. You can completely do it. There's nothing against you in manifesting a job, especially if you're not somewhere where you want to be. So that is the reason why you should manifest a job. Now, my personal experiences, the first time I ever manifested a job, and I mentioned this in the ebook, right? The first time I ever manifested a job, there's many things that I did because I love manifesting. So I always do all the things that I can to manifest. And all I did was say, I want a job. I was younger, all I said is I want a job. And at the time I was moving from not having a job at all. And I wrote down, I want a job. And guess what? I got a job. Not very soon after I said that. And know that I affirmed that for myself. But the problem with that is that it was just that. It was just that. It was just a job, right? So I'm telling you this from personal experiences so I can get y'all to, I'm trying to put y'all on. So it was just that, it was just a job. And on top of that, it was like one of those MLM companies, right? So I went to the job. They was highly motivating. They said, hey, we're going to get to the bag. We're going to rent Airbnbs together. We're going to have a good time. We're going to party. We're going to have a good time. And I remember hanging out with this young lady. She was driving us around. She drove us to a city that was like an hour or two away. Like an hour or two away. And I said, you got to do this to make money. We went to like 10 different buildings trying to sell stuff. And I said, oh, baby, I think I did about 2 days there. And I said, that's not what I wanted. I don't want to work here. And I left. And for me personally, once I realized, oh, I'm the problem. I'm the problem. Y'all want to know why I was the problem? Because when you're manifesting, yes, it's completely possible to just say, hey, I want to, this, and this, and then get what you want, right? But if you don't have clarity, you'll just accept anything. You'll just be out there doing whatever you want. So once I realized, oh, the problem is that I'm not clear about what exactly I want. So once I got clear on exactly what I wanted, and this second part is I tell y'all this story all the time, right? Once I got clear on what I wanted, I wrote down, it was about a paragraph of what I wrote down. And if y'all been here, y'all have heard this story before, but I said I want to work around greenery. I said I want to make more than what I'm expecting. I said, what else did I say? Some of the stuff is just other stuff that I was affirming outside of wanting a job. But because I was affirming all of this together, it came with the job. All the manifestations came at one time. Seriously. Oh, and another thing that I said is I want to be happy to go to work every day. Like, I just want to wake up happy to go to work. Which I don't know if I can ever really be 100% always happy to wake up and have to go to work. But I'm going to tell y'all why that makes sense to this story time, right? So once I did that, right, I started to affirm those things for myself. I said that same paragraph like multiple times, tell it all the time, every day for a few days. So I ended up, and I don't know, it was pretty quick, this transition, right, for me. I ended up quitting that job. I was only at that MLM job for like 2 days, and I said, this is not for me. I know I said I wanted a job, but I'm not just going to be doing anything. Y'all want me driving an hour out? Heck no. And so I ended up saying that, right? And I don't even know how long I said it. I'm at a point where it was so long ago. This had to have been like 4 years ago. It's 2026. This was like 4 or 5 years ago that this happened. Hey, everybody. Be more specific when manifesting. Be more specific. Oh, and I'm going to get to this other point because I'm at a job that I don't ever plan on like leaving. Honestly, I don't plan on leaving my job unless I move to a different state. So, and I didn't, well, let me not get too off track with the story time, right? So those are 3 things that I said, but I also visualized as well. And we're going to get into visualization in just a minute because I feel like visualization is one of those things that people really do sleep on, unfortunately. And I don't want y'all sleeping on it at all. So those are like about the 3 things that I said, among other things that I was affirming for my life at the time that I just wanted to happen just because I wanted to experience it. So I just so happened to go to an interview. I don't know. At the time, this is like 4 or 5 years ago. It wasn't many jobs that I applied to, but I just so happened to apply to this one job, not even on purpose. I don't even know what made me apply to this job. It was just a job, and I said, let's get it. I went to the interview, had paid no attention to anything. I didn't pay any attention to anything. Did the interview. They loved me. They loved me. Called me back the next day. Got the job. Seriously. Like, it was like that easy. Like, they loved me. Somebody said, may God ignore you. Did I not say hi to you, friend? I'm telling the whole story and you wishing hell on me. I'm going to keep that up there, though, so God can see your bad behavior. God gonna see your bad behavior, and what you wish on others gonna come back to you 10 times more. Anywho, so literally, I didn't pay not one attention to anything. I did the interview, loved me. I think it's also because I was making them laugh. Y'all know I'm a comedian. I was making them laugh, y'all. They was laughing out their pockets. I interviewed with, it was like 3 or 4 people who interviewed me at one time. And I was like, oh, wow, this is most people who's ever interviewed me at one time. It was crazy. So I literally went home. They called me. I got the job like within that same day. It was like 1 or 2 days. They called me back like, you got the job, girl. I said, oh, must be diversity. No, I'm playing. So, so I ended up working there. And it was not until I started working there. And I talked to you guys a lot about realizations. That a lot of times you don't realize that you are in a point of manifestation until you get there. Right? And I sat down and I said, A plus B plus C plus D equals, this is the job I manifested. Like, that's how I felt. I was like, this is the job I manifested. Like I said I wanted to work around greenery. Me, personally, I wanted to work in like a botanical garden. I applied to a botanical garden because that's the job I really wanted, was to work at a botanical garden. And so I applied there. That didn't work out for me. And I ended up realizing this building that I work at is green. If you purchase the ebook, I put a picture of the building so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, all the things that I'm expressing. If you want to purchase it, it's in the description below. But literally, I looked and I said, this building is green. The inside is green. They quite literally had just repainted the whole building. Like maybe within that year that I started working there. I said, work around greenery. That's crazy. The second thing I said was, I wanted to make more than what I expected, right? When I got there, I was expecting to make like $15 an hour. Again, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I was expecting to make like $15 an hour. They told me they had just increased the pay to like 18 something, right? So ding, 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 ding. Second thing, check, boom. The third thing, what was the third thing that I said? There was one more thing, I'm forgetting. Oh, the third thing I said, I wanted to be happy to come to work. And I didn't realize it. I don't know when exactly I realized this portion of it. But when I was being interviewed, I told you already I was being interviewed by like 3 or 4 people. There was a young lady, she was about the same age as me, who was interviewing me as well. And she did the same job that I did. Y'all give me 1 second. She did the same job that I did, right? Or that I was applying to. And she said to me directly, I am happy to come to work every day. That's literally what she said to me. Exactly what I wrote in my manifestations that I was affirming, speaking aloud. She said that exact phrase to me. And I don't know when I realized it, but I realized it. And I said, how interesting. So that was 3 things among other things that I was affirming for myself. On top of that, I was affirming about learning how to garden, because initially I told y'all that I wanted to work in like a botanical garden around plants and stuff. I don't really do plants. I don't have any plants in my home personally, but I wanted to learn at that time. I wanted to get into it. I did botanical garden stuff, didn't work out, but it just so happened that that same job that I applied to had a garden, y'all. It quite literally had a garden. And so literally, I started sitting out in the garden during my lunch breaks. And there was someone who worked there. They didn't do the same job that I did, but they worked in the area. They saw me in the garden and they was like, oh, do you garden? I'm like, no, but I would like to learn. So this person started teaching me how to garden. If you get the ebook, I got the pictures of my first time gardening and what the food looked like. I was so proud of myself, y'all. I was like, oh my God. It's only $10, y'all, get the ebook, because I was so happy. Literally. So that's what, like 4 things. Mind you, the gardening, learning how to garden was not in my job ideas, but it was something that I was manifesting for myself at the time. And because all of these things aligned, they came in alignment in one particular location, and it worked out perfectly for me, honestly. So, all four of those things, on top of that, I told you guys I was visualizing. And how I was visualizing is I would just feel myself walking into doors and taking a deep breath. And it felt to me, the environment felt to me like it was cubicles. Now, did I want to work in cubicles? Not at all. Like, seriously. At the time I wanted a job, it really wasn't a big deal, but my intentions was not to work in cubicles. But it felt right to walk in through doors and breathe in and notice cubicles and be in an environment of cubicles. Again, like I said, it wasn't what I wanted, but that's what felt right. And through visualizations, you shouldn't force visualizations. People, I feel like that's one thing that people try to do is they force a visualization. But visualization to me is a feeling. It's you literally feeling around in the dark until you get to a sensation that feels right. And then as you get to that sensation that feels right, the environment starts to unfold around you. Okay? So when I started working there, I didn't realize this. I was very busy. The type of job that I worked with like volunteers who would come and volunteer at the place that I would work at, and I would lead them. I would lead them, communicate with a large group of people. Y'all see how I'm articulate. I communicate with large groups of people. Have to literally speak to a room of like 100 people, trying to direct them of what's going on sometimes. So I would be tired sometimes, so I would go upstairs. We would have an upstairs. Majority of the time, I was downstairs, but I would go upstairs. And upstairs, we had like our little break room space. And what it was is we all had cubicle desk with our computers and stuff. We never really used it unless it was to check our emails. But particularly, we didn't really have emails because we were on the floor more often. But we had cubicle areas with our spaces, little desk. And I would walk into the room, and as soon as those doors would close, I would be like, and that was exactly what I would visualize. So I tell you guys one more time, why should you manifest a job? Because you can. Because you can. Hey Rico, how you been, friend? Because you can. So I don't want people to be worried about all of the things that life is throwing at you, all the limiting beliefs that social media tells you, all the people sitting up here talking about I applied to 1,001 jobs and I only got one interview back. Because the thing about it is that and I'm speaking to y'all on a spiritual level, there are millions of dimensions. Okay. There are millions of dimensions out there, okay? If you feel around spiritually, intuitively, right? Visualize yourself. There is a dimension, there is a space in time where you are somewhere that you're happy to be. And a lot of times that's just you having to feel within your body that out. When you begin to visualize this and feel it within, it will begin to manifest and find its way to express. You're always a magnet. Your aura, your energy, your electromagnetic frequency is always expressing something. So if you can intuitively visualize that position where, oh, I got food that's done. I'm cooking, y'all. You got scared for a second. Gotta go check on my food in a minute, y'all. Cooking collard greens, y'all. This is my first time making collard greens, but I had the food, I had the meat. I said, let's try it out. Anywho, back to what I was saying. So, if you can feel within yourself, if you can feel within yourself and express it, right? It's going to express naturally. You have no choice but to express what's internal, right? You are a magnet. The more that you tap into that vision, that visualization, that frequency, that space where you may not even feel like, you may not even be like, this don't even make sense. Well, girl, what am I trying to say? You may be like, this don't even make sense, right? Like, this don't make sense. I know I want this, this, and this, but the vision that I keep getting is, it don't, I'm wearing motherfucking clown shoes in this vision. And the thing about it be so funny is that it's gonna feel like clown shoes to you, but in reality, it may be some red shoes that are bigger and funny fitting on you, right? And then you get into your realization and you be like, you start laughing to yourself. Cause you like, this is exactly what I was visualizing. This is not what I thought it would be. Just like how I told you guys, for me, it was me walking into a room of cubicles and taking a deep breath. Hello, hello. And to me at the time, if I would have shunned that vision and be like, I don't want to work around cubicles, because I didn't. I don't want to work in cubicles. I don't want to be on the phone all day. If I would have shunned that vision, would I be in my manifested job? Would I have had that? Is the question. So don't shun the first vision that comes to you, because the thing about it, this is how you know that that's the dimension that you're seeking. It will be consistent. It will be consistent vision and feeling that you'll have, right? You said, my opinion, manifest a job and career that's a good fit, and you won't dread going to work as much. City, county, state, or federal positions offer some of the best benefits in pension retirement plans. Exactly. And speaking of, let's look at our current poll. We had 22 votes. 59% said yes, they have a job or career that they love. 18% said no. And 23% said I don't have a job and or career. And I would like to again add that in that 23% said that said they don't have a job or career, it could be people who are retired, you know. So shout out to my people. You said manifesting your purpose, GRU, right? Exactly. So I say all that to say that I manifested that job, and that was the one job that was so on point in manifestation. So I always talk about that, but I manifested other jobs. I just wasn't as intentional, as clear, right? Because I ended up leaving that job to go to another job, right? I left that job because I left the States, right? And so with that, I manifested jobs under pressure, where I literally wrote down, with me not knowing how or what was going to happen, I would write down, I'm starting work on this day. Me thinking I'm going to start another job, I start working at another job on that day. Same day that I wrote on the calendar. So it's little things like that where if you allow your expectations to consume you, it could hold you back from having a job. There are many spaces in this reality that you're a perfect fit to do and be whatever you feel like is important to you. And the thing about it, and sometimes for me, I feel like when you get into manifestation, if you never manifested a job, you never spoke out loud what you wanted and seen it come exactly how you said it, sometimes you will manifest more than one job. You, just like I told you guys, I said I'm gonna work at a job. It was an MLM job. Quit it 2 days later. I got what I wanted, didn't I? It's exactly what I wanted. I said I wanted a job. I got a job. Became more clear. Then that exact job came to me. So on, so on, so on, right? So, like I said, you know, the reason why you should manifest a job is because you can. It's possible. So what else I was going to tell y'all today? So, like I said, it's not about forcing an outcome of what you want. It's about feeling. 2 days and you quit. Yeah, I told you it was an MLM job. I don't do that. I don't do those type of jobs, baby. I didn't know what I was getting into. So, like I said, sometimes we want something so badly, but there are other places where we're a perfect fit. So if I would have tried to force the botanical garden job, it wouldn't have worked. It wasn't what was in my vision. It wasn't what was in my vision. You have to allow life to put you in spaces where you will be a perfect match, and that will fulfill all of your needs at that moment. because that job did exactly that. It fulfilled all of my needs at that moment. I don't like going to work early. I didn't have to go to work early all the time. You know, I had a varying schedule. I really did enjoy that job. You know, I got to meet a lot of people. They fed me, y'all. They fed me good food. It was really good food, y'all. They fed me. They always had some type of food. Like, seriously, always had some type of food. They paid well for the age that I was at. Yeah, that was a time. That was a time. So I want to talk a little bit about visualizing, because I feel like for some people, they don't get it. They don't get it. And I do think it's because people force visions. And as someone who's also an intuitive person, who visions come to me very naturally, it could be because I am an intuitive person, so I'm able to tap into it easier. Whereas other people, they haven't tapped into that for themselves. I don't want people to be afraid of visualization or having visions for themselves, because anytime you make a plan for yourself, that's a vision. Whether you can see it or not, that's you being a visionary and saying, this is what I want for myself, right? So when you tap into visualizing, oftentimes for me personally, it comes with me, of course, closing my eyes, or you could look at an angle. You can look at an angle as if you're remembering, right? Because you know, sometimes when people are remembering, they look up like, So you could close your eyes and be in darkness, or you could look at an angle as if you're remembering, because a lot of times visualization is just that. What is time? It's construct, right? So you can look up as if you're remembering. Sometimes people like to focus on one thing to get their attention. And so you can maybe focus on one thing, just look at it directly until you like space out, or you can look at a flame. Some people like looking at candles and stuff like that. And this is just for visualization. For me, I feel like if you really want a job, or if you really need a job, double up and do multiple manifestation techniques, because I mean, why not? But do that. Choose whatever feels more comfortable to you. We're talking about manifesting a job. Friend, hey friend, where you been? What you doing? You said retirement is important to consider and plan for. The earlier you start, the better. Don't get caught short. Get some skills. Invest in yourself. Y'all better listen. Y'all better listen. So, yeah, put that. You know what? Mind you, that was also at the time when I was manifesting. My retirement was on my manifestations. And when that job offered free financial advising. And I got that at that same job, y'all. That job was great. That job, I love my job now currently too. Side note, the job that I work at now, I can kind of say in a way, it was, I guess at that one moment in my life, I manifested so much that manifestations was still coming in like that whole entire year. Like that whole entire year, I manifested at the beginning of the year. It was what, like January, around the New Year's. That whole entire year, manifestations was coming in. Seriously. Hey, black man. Okay. So definitely retirement was on there. But I also, hey Ty, welcome back. Johnny. Anywho. So what am I trying to say, y'all? I'm getting off track. Oh, the job that I work at currently is kind of a product of my manifestation as well, because on that same time frame, I said I wanted to work somewhere where I could travel and I could move around, right? And I had another intention, but I realized for me personally, I didn't want to have to, you know, as I get older, well, as I was at that time in my life, I don't think I really wanted to travel in that way, because I was thinking country to country. But what really happened is, now the job that I work at, I have multiple locations that I travel to. So I'm not just at one place. So that was all 1 year ago. That was like a year, like 4 or 5 years ago, that I did all these manifestations. And that whole entire year, like, they were all coming in, I promise you. When I tell y'all, And the thing about it, I had a lot of time on my hands too, y'all. Had a lot of time, energy. Yeah, that was a great time of manifestations for me. So the job that I've been here for like 3-4 years. The timing I'm not good with the timing. I don't remember the years, but I've been in my job for a long time, and it's been a job. It's about finding your niche. Yeah, it could be, but yeah, like I was saying, all those things. When I tell y'all, all those things was things that I manifested. I said, "Ooh, manifest a job with great benefits, y'all. Great benefits you're gonna be put on." So anywho, what was up? We was talking about visualization. You said we should never retire in theory because I'm always making sure that ROI is always at the highest point. Okay. So back to what we were saying, y'all. You pronounced it wrong. What I pronounced wrong? What did I pronounce wrong? Niche. Niche. What is a niche? I thought you said niche. I thought you misspelled it. I don't know. I don't know what a niche is. Girl, I don't know. I don't know. What is a niche? Y'all gotta put me on. So, that's what we was talking about. We was talking about visualizations. So, you guys to get back into that mode. Like I was telling you, you can focus on one thing. You can look to the side as if you're remembering. You can close your eyes. But what you want to do is you want to also feel in your body. Feel. She's talking about girls. I don't know what y'all talking about. Girls. What girls? What girls visualize the word? Girl, I don't even know what word we talk about. I feel like we talking about different stuff because Johnny talking about who's your bias. I deleted the other one because I was like, what's going on? I know what's going on. We talking about niche, cat's eye, girls. I don't know what's going on. Look, y'all done got me off topic. Y'all done got me confused. Look, I'm a one-track mind person. Okay. Y'all, stay on topic, y'all. Dang. So literally, clean my face. Look at it shiny. I'm shining too much up in this. So anyway, you want to visualize, do all the things that I just said, y'all. I'm not gonna keep repeating it because it's too much. Second thing you want to do, you want to feel in your body. Feel something. Tap into a physical sensation. I'm giving you real information. Hey, Pitman, welcome back. Tap into a physical sensation. So that could be as simple as you feeling your elbow on something. You could feel yourself standing somewhere. You could feel your head laying somewhere. You could feel your hand touch, like how I just touched myself. I can feel my hand touching my face or sitting on my hip. Or I can feel myself sitting down. This is you tapping into. But the third thing I need you to do is focus on the job that you feel like is where you're wanting. So you get clarity, but don't have high expectations for your vision. Like I said, don't have high expectations for your vision. If you know that you want to work at a hospital, you want to have the morning shift, that's how literal you can be sometimes. You can be like, I want a morning shift at the hospital. I want to get paid this much amount of money. I want to do this type of stuff. I want to be around people who make me laugh. I want the hospital to feed me sometimes. Good food, free food, right? So that's how specific that you can be, right? So you're already affirming this stuff for yourself. You tap into that vision, you might start seeing construction workers in your vision. Construction workers don't have nothing to do with the job that you manifesting. Or does it? You don't know. Don't force a vision. If what you start seeing is construction workers, tap into that vision and allow that vision to unfold for yourself, okay? Allow it to unfold, and it doesn't have to be long. You don't have to see yourself work the whole entire shift, okay? It might be 3 seconds. And what I truly want you to tap into is a sensation. So that sensation could be the physical sensation of you, like maybe you have your hands on your waist tapping your foot and you feel impatient, right? That could be that physical sensation that you're tapping into when you're in your visions. Don't have expectations, just fill it out, because there is a space where you are doing something and it is at where you want to manifest. Now, like I said, you may be seeing construction workers even though you're trying to manifest working at a hospital. And then you feeling your hands on your hips. And it feels like you may be feeling impatient. Allow that vision to be the vision that you focus on. Because guess what happens? You have that vision. Whenever life works out, it unfolds and it's realized. And then what you realize is, oh, the hospital that I'm working at, they're doing construction work. And I'm so bothered by this loud noise. But it's the exact thing that you manifested. You got people who make you laugh. They giving you food. They paying you the amount that you want to be paid, right? So that's what I want you guys to start focusing on when you're visualizing, because some visions don't make sense. And me personally, even outside of manifestations, I've had visions of friends doing stuff. And I'll contact my friend. I'll be like, friend, I just had this vision. They be like, oh, that just happened. Y'all know I'm that so Raven low key. That's so Raven. It's the future I can see. Or I can see the past. Because when I've done tarot readings for people, I would have particular visions that would come up. And I'd be like, well, I remember one time, it was so clear as day. Somebody was raising their hands as if they was about to hit me in my vision. And I said, oh my God, girl, I don't know what's going on, but this is what I'm seeing. And they said, girl, they just did that. I said, oh no. What? Get away from them. Run away, girl. So yeah, like I said, you won't always know why the vision is coming, but if you focus on what you want, what you keep getting is associated in some way, somehow to what you want. What's another explanation that I could do? Somebody said, you just saying bullshit, just losing time. Well, you just wasting time typing bullshit. So anywho, somebody said, I'm Orlando Brown. That's a crazy thing to say, for real. Somebody said, I would say, if you don't have a vision, just walk forward. I never stop. Always do something. You'll find an occupation one day. But at least until then, you'll be paid and busy. At least work for me, girl. Period. So, y'all, I don't know too many people. Like, I know there's some people who don't have that internal dialogue, or they don't have internal visions. I don't know. I'm not here to support those people because I don't know how that works. I'm somebody who has an internal vision and I have an internal dialogue, and I'm a Gemini, and that internal dialogue come on as soon as I wake up. I be half sleep and I still have an internal dialogue. I will hear myself talking. Like literally this morning I was asleep and I was trying to figure out what I was going to eat for breakfast while I was half asleep. Because I said, dang, I ate all the eggs and I don't have any more toast to make avocado toast. And I ate all the bacon. I ate everything yesterday. So I said, what am I going to eat this morning? So that's what my internal dialogue was doing this morning when I was asleep. So I have those things. This comes natural to me, y'all. I can't turn it off. It's who I am. And anywho, for breakfast, I ended up figuring out what I ate. Y'all don't listen. This is what I ate for breakfast. So I made some spinach. So I'm trying to get back in my spinach game. I used to eat a lot of spinach until I started having a histamine problem. So then I couldn't eat spinach because it would raise my histamine levels, which I think it still do, but it's not as bad as it used to be. And so I had spinach, I had orange, and I had avocado toast and I had like a tamale, because I had like these warm-up tamales. You put it in the oven, it was like chicken, but I only ate the chicken. I didn't eat like the corn part of the tamale. I just wanted the chicken part because I just wanted some type of meat. So that was off topic, but I just wanted to do it. You said, John, I'm about to block you, John. John, you want to get blocked? You said, I'm getting paid preem hourly rate to waste my time watching you right now. Night shift bonus, holiday bonus, and I gotta watch YouTube. Where you work at, Leon? Somebody said, that's the problem with humans. When we sleep, we think about food. When we use the restroom, we on the phone. We never really truly doing what we supposed to be doing. I'm dead. John, you gotta be the first person. You gotta be the first person, John. You gonna get blocked. You trying to traumatize me, John. You ain't traumatizing me. I've been traumatized enough, y'all. So yeah, y'all. That's how you visualize. Like I said, for people who don't have a job that they enjoy, that they like, it may be, hey, Ari girl, hey, baby. It may be you rewriting this a few times, right? You may have to write the type of job that you want to manifest and re-clarify that a week later. And it may be a few things shifted with that. But to me personally, I feel like clarity is king, right? Clarity is king. When you truly get clear, you will feel it. You will feel it as you say it. So if you are saying something, you are affirming something job-wise, and you feel a little stuck, just keep rewriting it. And rewrite until you feel, and you don't have to keep doing it all in one day. You can, if you want to, whatever. You can do what you want to do. But you can take a few days to rewrite it, reaffirm it, tweak it just a little bit until you feel like, oh, this feels right. This feels right to say. I feel exactly like this is what I'm able to do. You said, I just have a job right now. I even got a second one, but I haven't started the second job yet. There has been delays. It's giving you time for something else, girl. Something else is about to come up during those delays, girl. You said, and I'm not talking about job-wise, but just things in life could be coming up for you to experience during those delays. You said, I'm kind of thinking of getting a second job elsewhere because the manager at this other place has been pretty unreachable. Girl, you still working at the W? I ain't gonna throw your business out there, Ari, but you remember we talked a while ago, you was working at the W. I think that's what it was, if you understand what I'm putting down. She take too long to message you, girl. What? You felt a shift in energy. I have too, John. That's why I'm telling y'all, 2026 is the year of manifestations. Her phone is always on Do Not Disturb. When I call her, she never answers it. We're going to show you the people at the job, the manager, girl. Oh, you still work there? All right, okay, cool. Hey, MH. Hey, Bosco. Talk about another place. Okay, girl, manifest the girl. You got it. Yeah, and just like how Leon was saying earlier, he said he works somewhere he get paid to do nothing. That's not the first time I heard somebody telling me they get paid to do nothing. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they say they go to work and they did about 10 minutes of work. If that's truly what you want, you can manifest that. You do 10 minutes of work and go about your day and get paid a whole full paycheck. It happens, seriously. Immaculate, period. That's what I'm saying. You do a little bit of work but get paid a whole bunch of money. Write it down. I do a little bit of work and get paid a whole bunch of money. Manifestations get clear. You said you hope that y'all really ready for what's coming. You got a job in December, girl. Girl, it better be a good job. See, with the job that I'm working at currently, I applied to the job in like July. It took me until October because you have to have certain licenses to work at this particular job. So it took like a couple of months for the license to come in. And then it eventually came in. It's awful work, girl. You should be manifesting her job. She getting paid not to be there. Girl. So yeah, y'all. Like I keep saying, because I want to really drive in these positive beliefs Hey, Will Green. Hey, friend. I want to drive in these positive beliefs. Why should you manifest the job that you want? Because you can. Don't listen to all these limiting beliefs that are being put out there. Statistically, y'all, I said that right. Don't play with me. Statistically, there may be stats out there that say that the job market is one particular way. But just because that's the stats don't mean that you're a part of those stats. Y'all remember that. You're not the part of those stats. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. Because there is a particular space for you where you fit perfectly. And you're meant to be there. Fill it out. Good night, Andrew. Fill it out, y'all. Fill it out in your spirit, in your body. When you come to visualization, you don't just have to see it. To me, particularly, I feel like it's best to have physical sensations during visualizations, because with the physical sensations, it's easier to anchor into that reality. With visual sensations, it's not as easy for my own personal experiences to anchor into that reality. But if you have a physical sensation, it's easier to anchor into that reality. And understand, there are limits that you have on yourself. So you may say, I want to be a CEO of this company, but the only job experience that you have is Dollar Tree. You may have limitations on yourself. And you may say, okay, well, I don't know how to be a CEO. I don't know how to do this. I never had this experience. Hey, Platypus, welcome back. All these things that you have limited on yourself. So now you will, and I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad to have to go through this, but everybody has a different experience. You want to be a CEO, but you only work the Dollar Tree. So you're probably going to have steps to get to a new level. Are there people who go from Dollar Tree to CEO overnight? Yes. Does that have to be you? It don't have to. We don't have to stress and worry about hurrying up and getting to the top. What I want y'all to think about, y'all don't have to worry about it. Just think about getting to safety and stability. Once you're at safety and stability, you can, with a sane mind, plan to get to the top. Do you get me? Y'all picking up what I'm throwing down? Y'all, I'm about to go get my food. I put in the pressure cooker. I'm about to go get it. I got to make some mashed potatoes. I got to finish cooking. Hi, Tegan. The fun is in the process. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. The fun is in the process, y'all. The fun is in the process, y'all. So what do I keep telling y'all? Why should you manifest a job? Because you can. I did a whole video yesterday about 5 reasons from my own personal experience why my manifestations didn't come through. Make sure y'all watch that video. And make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on that video and this one right here. Literally, listen. There are reasons why certain manifestations don't come through. Watch that video so you can know a reason why your manifestations are not coming through. Even with this particular video, you want to manifest a job, some of those may not be coming through because of what we talked about in the last video. So make sure you have that understood so that when you do start manifesting this job that you're wanting, you can get to where you want to be. You talking about blockages with like limitations that people put on themselves? Yeah, people got blockages. That's what they call it. A limitation is a blockage because it's you having something in between where you want to be and where you are. Either way, there's reasons. There are many reasons as to why you may be in that position. And like I said, for me, the job that I do, I have a degree doing what I do. And I'm also in school. But I didn't just choose this out of nowhere, right? I didn't, there's many ways that I could do what I'm doing. But I manifested it in this particular way where I'm not at one place all the time. I have multiple places that I can go to, So it's really up to y'all. It's really up to y'all is what you want. Frequencies help with blockages, right? You mean like listening to frequencies? It can. It can. Because it can help you move to the next higher oscillation. Somebody, I cannot deal with these people today. Y'all are hilarious. You can change a life with a smooth maneuver. You can be a wounded healer or wounded wounder. I'm confused. You ain't got it out the mud. Period. I feel like blockages, there's different ways that you can overcome blockages, honestly. For me personally, I have to talk through it. I have to talk through it to understand. I used to do a lot of page 33, which if y'all have the book, You Are Programmed, you'll understand page 33. I used to do a lot of page 33 for emotional blockages so I could understand, you know, and associate it with something better. But also, another way that you can just overcome blockages is to continually just visualize and affirm. Like, seriously, just keep saying what you want for yourself. Wake up every single day and be consistent in that saying. Say it multiple times during the day. Especially say when you are in a more programmable conscious states or unconscious states. So like if you're sleeping, sleep affirmations. When you wake up, right when you wake up, during the middle of the day, and then right before you go to bed. Or if you're meditating, if you're doing deep breath work, chanting, any of those things, affirming things during those states where your nervous system is calm and more regulated, it allows those affirmations to seep into you easier. And it's not like you're going to immediately reject those affirmations when you're in those states of being. Yeah, blockages can cause health issues. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Consistency in any field is a good thing. Exactly, y'all. We got 50 votes, y'all. People like this topic. People want to talk about getting a job. So 48% said that they do have a job or a career that they love. We have 26% said no, they don't have a job or career that they love. And 26% said I don't have a job or career. And remember, like I keep telling you guys, in that 26%, it could be people who are retired, because I didn't add that portion. But yeah, y'all, that's our poll for today. I love that a good majority, they do have a job that they love. I think that's a part of living, is having providing something to the world that has meaning to you. So, you know, and it doesn't have to be the same thing. You don't have to work at the same job, you know, for the rest of your life. Like I told you guys, many of the jobs that that I manifested, I don't work there anymore. But they were great stepping stones to where I am today. And I feel very excited and happy about where I am today. Tell you how that tastes? Man, I'm about to. Y'all, my uncle. Okay. My ears ringing, y'all. Give me a second. My uncle gave me some brisket. And I made that brisket. I said, my uncle loved me, because that was at least like $50 worth of brisket that he gave me. And I made the brisket first, and it was so good, y'all. So that's it. That's why I was like, I gotta make the collard greens. I put the brisket in the collard greens, and I'm gonna make some mashed potatoes. Yeah. You love brisket? Yeah, it's good. It was pre-seasoned too. I put a little extra season on there, but it was pre-seasoned. I said, okay. My uncle loves me. I love my uncle. Thank you to him. So I most definitely, because it was my first time, but I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good, y'all. But like I said, y'all, I'm about to get up off of here. If y'all want the ebook, I go into much more detail about the jobs that I manifested, how I did it, all the points that you want to know. It's in the description. You can get it either on live up here, or you can get it down in the description down here if you're watching the replay. I don't know. I don't pay much attention to the ears ringing. I don't pay too much attention to it. Because if you want to tell me something, you're going to need to tell me verbally. Tell me through somebody else. Let me know. I don't got all the time to be decoding everything in the whole entire world all the time. So we just going to leave it at that. The ears is ringing. GR's hilarious. My ears probably ringing because they like, girl, go get that food. I'm about to go get it. Don't play. Anywho, why should you manifest a job? Because you can. If y'all want me to talk about any other topics in regards to manifestation, we can definitely do it. I love talking about manifestation. I love thinking about my own manifestations and, like, areas where I failed in manifestations and how I've overcome that. I really do enjoy it. It's great. I do go into cycles where I don't even think about manifesting. Like, I just live life. It may be 6 months and I'm just living life and don't even think about manifesting nothing. And then I go into a different area of my life, experiences, and I'm like, oh, let me manifest this. Or I might have manifested things in a particular way, a couple of years ago, and now me as an older woman who's more stable, secure in herself, those things that I would not manifest in this point in my life, right? So yeah, overall, I feel like 2026 is my year of coming back to manifestation and really focusing on it. I think 2025 was a year where I got distracted and my mindset was not just manifestation 100%. So I think I'm about to get back into my spiritual routines, more efficiently focus on them, continue to manifest. Do what I'm natural at. Hi again, Tegan. Hi, Kelly. And yes, John Phases. Hey, Curb. You said I'm on a manifestation journey, but I keep thinking about the things I'm manifesting, and it's hard to let go. I need a little bit of help. Exactly, Rico. You said I'm manifesting, and it's hard to let go. I need a little bit of help. Why do you need to let go of it? I'm on my manifesting journey, but I keep thinking about the thing I'm manifesting. Is the problem, do you feel like there's a problem with you thinking about it? Like, are you worried or stressed about it? Like, what's wrong with you thinking about it? And why do you need to let it go? Because I know that there is an idea of letting go. And that's why, in a way, that's when I was really heavy into the community of manifestation, people were like, you got to let it go, you got to let it go. But that's why I said don't have expectations. Feel it, know what you want, be clear on what you want, and feel it, but don't have expectations. You say, I'm really worried that I won't get it, and I'm scared if I don't get it. Okay. So you feel unworthy. That's what my mind initially goes to, is I feel unworthy. I would also like to ask, have you manifested something before? Or is this your first time manifesting? Because that will also give me some information about where your mindset is if you never manifested something before. Okay, well, thank you guys. Thank you so much, y'all. For moments like that, you said, well, yes, but I wasn't aware of manifestation yet, so I guess I did because I wasn't worried about it. Exactly. So you're just more conscious about where you are right now. And that's one thing I can say is coming from unconsciously manifesting stuff to consciously manifesting things, it adds a layer of, like, it feels like you're more responsible for it. What I will say for you, Curb, is start doing more like relaxing techniques while you manifest, just to relax your physical body, because what's happening is you're getting some type of like cortisol rate, and some your body is going against it. So start doing like physical body work to support yourself when you're manifesting. So that could be you stretching, you doing deep breathing. These are things that can relax your nervous system because you feel unsafe when you're thinking about yourself with these manifestations. There are some people who will say, well, just keep affirming, keep affirming, keep affirming. No, sometimes that could stress you out, and you don't want to stress yourself out trying to bring in what you want in your life. So just do some nervous system regulating techniques. Like I said, that could be you breathing, stretching. You need to exercise. You need to release that anxious energy in your body. That could be you going to yell or hitting the pillow. I don't know. It's really up to you. You said, I'm trying to stop laying in bed all day and I want to work towards my goals. Oh, I love that for you. Congratulations. You got this, friend. Listen, you got this. You got this. Let me tell you, life can change overnight. This may be a phase for you where you're laying in bed all day. You may have a reason why you're doing that. You may have a reason why you're laying in bed all day. Um, Now you don't have to do these things whatsoever, but I'm the type of person who I like to do like weird stuff when I'm trying to shift into a different reality for myself. I would say like surrounding yourself with the color yellow, finding things to get like yellow is just going to open your spirit up, right? So I would start changing your phone screen to a screensaver that's yellow. If you got a computer, make it a screensaver that's yellow. If you can print something off and hang it on your wall, put it in your bathroom, get a yellow toothbrush. Because yellow is going to provide that energy. But that's me. I like color therapy a little bit. So that's what I would do if I needed some more energy. Oh, curb. I see all the comments. It's not too many people who be in the chat all the time. I see y'all. If anybody else wanted me to answer any questions, I'm still on here for a little bit. But yeah, like I said, when it comes to like those moments, like being in bed and stuff all the time, sometimes your body is seeking rest for many reasons. That could be emotional turmoil that you're going through, stress and anxiety that you're going through. And so people may see it as laziness. And I'm not talking about this particular person, right? I'm just talking about experiences in general. You may feel like you're lazy, but sometimes that is your body calling you to get rest that you're needing. I'm not saying that that's truly rest, because if you laying in bed all day, that's just really not that healthy for your body. But sometimes that's just what you're being called to do for a particular reason, right? You could be anxious, depressed, all these things, and these are moments where you want to counteract that by doing little things. If you laying in bed all day, open a window, open the blinds, actually open the window, right? So you can let sunlight in. Start little by little, because depression is in it. Like I said, it could be many reasons why you laying in bed all day. Depression is one of those things where you are stuck in a mental loop. You're stuck in a mental loop, and it's like draining. It's like a parasite on your energy. It's taking away from your energy oftentimes. So it could be things that that happened in your childhood. It could be things that happened a year ago. It could be many reasons why somebody's laying in bed all day and they don't have the ability to get up and get their basic needs met. And it could be so much that that person is laying in bed all day and they not even brushing their teeth or taking showers, right? So actually, and that's another thing, because personally, I went through depression, and it was right after I graduated. I had different things that occurred in my life, and I was lost. Not having direction. That's what put me in that state of mind. Having issues that I was dealing with, moving into a new phase of my life that was unrecognizable, and not having direction in that area of my life. And so I've had to go through moments like that for myself as well. And to me, I consider that to be postgraduate depression. So I don't think that's something that many people talk about. And I actually wrote an ebook. That's one of my first ebooks that I ever wrote, because that was something that I went through personally, postgraduate depression, and nobody talks about it. And in the ebook, I talk about different ways. I don't have that uploaded anywhere. So it's something that I just have to myself. But I gave out many ways to get back on track if you're experiencing postgraduate depression. They don't have to be postgraduate depression. If you're experiencing depression in general. And some of the things that really helped me get back on track is having a calendar. I'm telling you guys, having a calendar will anchor you into your reality. A lot of times when you're going through depression, you need to be anchored into your reality, because you are mentally in the past. You're mentally not just in the past, but you're reflecting on your limiting beliefs and why you're going wrong, right? You say, yeah, I still get up and do stuff, but I do be in bed. I don't think I've ever been depressed, but I've been very, very sad. Well, Well, you say I felt very sad and lonely. Sometimes I never have friends and I've been homeschooled for years. I want to get back outside again. Okay, let me finish this and I'm going to talk more about that. Because you know that's another thing that I do. I'm a pragmatic specialist, y'all. Y'all know I study communication. Yeah, I know I study communication. And that's what I'm actually building my business around is pragmatic skills. Particularly more for women, but I love the idea of pragmatics. So pragmatics is just being social communication, being around people, communicating with people, especially with boundaries and self-advocacy. Love it. So anywho, that's what I was saying about the depression. If anybody is actually going through that, because you know sometimes you don't know what you're going through until you're out of the cycle. But you need things that's going to anchor you into your reality. A calendar. You need to write dates. You know, you need to write the month, the date, and then you may not even actually follow through with what you write on the calendar, but you can most definitely say, okay, this day I'm going to the park, and put this is the secret to having a calendar, because I used to have calendars and I would write my affirmations on there. I remember when that job that I was manifesting that I told y'all about at the beginning, I wrote an affirmation that same week that I went. I don't know if it was when I got the job or when I applied to the job. I don't remember. But I said, I'm working at a beautiful place. On each week, I would write an affirmation about whatever I wanted to affirm. The secret about having a calendar is you need to put it somewhere that you see every day. That could mean it's right next to your bed, right across from your bed. You need to see that calendar every day. I've manifested events where I sold stuff before. Y'all know I used to make resin. I wrote it on my calendar first. Oh, I'm doing this event, even though I never in my life did an event. But things lined up for me to do that event because I wrote it on my calendar. So get you a calendar, open them windows and them blinds every day when that sunlight is out. Make sure you take at least a shower in the morning. Not everybody needs to take a shower every morning, but I do believe that if you deal with feeling sad or depressed, every morning you should take a shower. And at nighttime, you should, if you're feeling sad or depressed, you should take more than one shower a day. That's not about being dirty. It's about being refreshed, right? Not everybody takes more than one shower a day, but if you are feeling sad and depressed, you need to take more than one shower a day, right? You need to make sure you get up and brush your teeth every day. You need to have a hairstyle. If you're a black woman, you need to have a hairstyle, an easy one that you can do that's gonna make you look decent. Because hair depression is real. Hair depression is real. So those are just my few tips for anybody dealing with depression, or overbearingly feeling sad all the time. And then affirm every day and every night. You need to be listening to sleep affirmations. You need to, do these things. Those, when you get in those low moments, that's the time when you need to go hard on your spiritual routines. Sleep affirmations every night. So listen to the same one every night. I remember I used to listen to sleep affirmations. I would literally hear them in my dreams. Somebody would be speaking affirmations to myself. I would literally be hearing it in my dreams. So that will go so far for you, I'm telling you. But you say you've been feeling sad and lonely. You never have friends and you've been homeschooled. So I don't know what you're trying to manifest, Curb. But really what you need to start manifesting right now is a community. You need to be manifesting self-trust, that you can maintain a community and that you will attract people who are like-minded. That's what you need to be manifesting. I don't know what you're manifesting, but that's what you need to be manifesting first. Or if you manifest in a job, you can manifest a community through your job. And they don't need to be your best friends, but they could be surface level social relationships that get you going, GR said, optimize your nutrition with healthy foods. Grounding is it a situational or another type of depression? Yeah. Grounding is great. Oh, thank you, Rico. John, such a Gemini. Shout out to my Virgos. You said I do procrastinate a lot, but I'm working to be more scheduled and happier person. Yeah, I use manifestation boards a lot, and it's facing my bed. Good, that's perfect. It's facing your bed is perfect. Depression can be seasonal. I suffer from depression sometimes. It's fairly common, like a common cold. It lasts for a short time and passes. Hey, Cornbread. Shout out to the community. My people. And of course, money is what the main thing is. Let me tell you something, Curb. Many times, money is not always an issue. I'm telling you. Money is not always an issue. Everybody says money, money, money. There are people who are the poorest who have happier lives than the average American. And they live in a small community, a little pueblo in Mexico. Well, let's not use Mexico. What's another place? They live in a small pueblo in South America. Okay, I don't know. And they are happier because they have no other knowledge of not being happy. They have all their needs met. They eat. They be around their people every day, right? Oftentimes when it comes to money management, that's another thing you can manifest. People want to manifest money. You get the money. What happens when you get the money? You need to manifest money management. Manifest financial advisors that are here to support you, who can advise you in how you deal with money, how you save money. Start manifesting an emergency savings account that is 3 to 6 months of your living needs. Because we get money. A lot of times people get money, but that money goes other places. So it's not always money. It's more about how we manage money, how that money works for us. Start manifesting that money is working for you in amazing ways. Money is being invested in you in ways that you couldn't have never imagined. Because you could have money invested in your education. That can get you very far. You can have money invested in your health and well-being. That'll get you very far. Okay, period. Curb said he good with money. Money is important, but it's not the end all be all. And like Curb, I'm not trying to deny that money is your issue. Let me not say that it's not your issue. Money could be your issue. But I just want to say that a lot of times we focus on one thing when the real problem is something else. But y'all, let me get up off here. I'm on here a little longer than I need to be, y'all. We can talk more about, I don't know, manifesting money, because I manifested a raise. I'm not somebody who wants to talk about manifesting money. I have manifested money. I manifested my income, honestly. That took a lot of work. I had to do a lot of money mindset work to get to the income that I am today. But I'm happy with it. And I think that money mindset work can be one of those things that is for me, because everybody's different. But money mindset work is one of those things that was a lot of work. But it came to me. I was just like, yo, look at that. And I was like, okay. Had the debt paid off until I went back to school, y'all. I went back to school, but I was like, oh my God. But I did I got the debt paid off. I got the money advice I needed, my income. And I said, thank goodness gracious. So let me not say I ain't never manifested money, but that's not the thing that I like to talk about. You said, yeah, I worded it wrong. I mainly want friends and money. Thank you. You can get that, friend. Understand that you're just in a mindset of, like you just said, I've been homeschooled. You're in a mindset of you're not used to it. Probably. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. If you've been homeschooled, you feel lonely, you're just not used to it. So that's why I say manifest trust in yourself, that you can attract the right people and that you have passions that are aligned to other people's passions. And I will say, when it comes to friends, one thing I always say is that I've had to learn to be surface level and not get deep and just allow the surface levelness of our friendship. And, I don't have to know they mama and daddy's trauma. I don't have to know the friend's trauma. We can just go out, do an activity. And the more that we do some type of activity outside the house is the more that we develop our friendship, right? So go out and do things that you enjoy by yourself. I'm an outside person by myself. I'll go outside and I'll meet people doing stuff by myself, So go outside. For anybody who want to manifest friends, y'all got to go outside. Or you can manifest online friends, like this community. We have our online friends in this community. But for me personally, it's not about online friends 100%, because you need real world physical presence. You need to be able to be with somebody and y'all laughing, kiki ha ha and together somewhere. Y'all, bro, let me tell y'all something. Look, I told y'all I need to get off of here, but I gotta tell y'all a story for all my people. He said, okay, keep fighting. Nobody can fight for you. Period. GR preaching. John playing with me. And that's okay, Curb. That's okay. Of course. They said I might subscribe. I'm dead. Y'all. Speaking of friends, I just went out the other night with some friends. Y'all. And we was in an Uber. Now, mind you, this is all black girls. We all black girls. We all beautiful black girls. The guy was like, ooh, I got beautiful black women in the car with me. He was like Middle Eastern. He's like Pakistani. I don't know if that's the right how you say Pakistani. I don't know. Anywho. So he's like happy that he got beautiful girls in the car. He had a nice car. We told him to open the moon roof. He opened the moon roof. We having a good time. He's like, I gotta ask y'all a serious question. We was like, you gotta ask us a serious question. He gotta ask us a serious question. What's this question? He's like, you know, me and my wife fight all the time. We like, fight? What y'all be fighting about? And he's like, we be fighting all the time. Do y'all think it's appropriate for me to use the N-word? What y'all think I said? What y'all think I said? I said, hell no. What the hell? What the hell wrong with this man? I said, get me out this man's car. Get me out this man's car, please. I said, please. And look, we all had something to say, but he was so serious, y'all. He was so serious. I said, if it ain't one thing, it's another. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Everybody want to use the N-word. He said, it's like saying my brother. Then he gonna say he got a black friend, a black male friend. These men out here, boy. The coons, man, is giving coons. There's always a coon out there. He said, my friend said that I can use the N-word. I said, your friend wants you to get beat up. That's what it is. He wants you to get beat up. It's always a coon-ass black person somewhere saying that somebody else can do something, not understanding the effects on the community, the ignorance of it all. It's so sad. But it ain't me. Y'all be safe. Y'all be safe. It ain't me. We ain't doing that over here. Hey, Samuel. We ain't doing that over here. Not in my energy. Yeah. Hey, Keeper. So, y'all be cool. Everybody want to say the N-word, but they don't want to be an N-word. So, y'all be cool, y'all. Y'all be cool. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Talk to y'all later.